Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. First and foremost, thank you for being here and supporting me as you always do. I do often sometimes wonder why that support is there because I have actually recorded this video 8 times this morning already, and the last time transpired the microphone was switched off. I should really start doing some bloopers in these videos. Anyway, I want to talk to you today quickly if I can about some of the comments, the trolling that we see from people, mostly aimed at those on benefits or lower incomes, and of course the disabled in the UK. And it makes me believe, and I've got a question actually towards the end, and I want to read you an article from somebody as well. But yeah, let me just get straight into this. So you guys would have seen the previous videos about the comments, the trolls, blah 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 blah. Okay, now that was done on when I did a video about Reform UK and Nigel Farage's policies aimed at those on benefits, particularly that if they get in power in the next couple of years, the benefits would be stopped. Now, I've got no love lost for any political party. I've told you all this time and time again, but as per usual, the people came out in defence of him and the Reform UK in their droves, and that's fine. If you believe in something so bad, I am proud of you. That just means that you've got a passion for something, and I take my hat off to you. Oh wait, I'm not wearing a hat today, but you get the gist of it, okay? So, I do believe that a lot of these people come on here because they've got nowhere else to vent or to show their anger, but I also believe that these people are undercover, and I'll get into this at the end. So, I want to read to you guys, first of all, this little article that I found from someone called Ellie. It is on Birmingham Mail, unfortunately, I apologise, links are down below as always. But this lady has a TikTok channel, which I don't really use TikTok so much, but I'll link it for you guys below if you want to go and see it. Go check it out. She's called Ellie, she's 23. Make sure my phone's on silent first because I'm not being interrupted again. Yeah, she's 23, guys, and she's a paramedic. So she works for the NHS. But her and her partner have children as well, and they still receive universal credit. So a lot of people at this stage will be thinking, oh, well, hang on a minute, they're working full time. Why do they deserve universal credit? Now, that is a good question. Go and ask her yourself. That's all I'd recommend or suggest. But what I would potentially say is, this is because of the rules around the government and wages in the UK, which people like Ellie don't make these rules, and neither do I, but unfortunately we tend to be at the firing line or stigmatisation of people that don't receive benefits. But I'm going to read what she's basically put, okay? Please bear with me and follow me. So she's working, she's on TikTok, she's 23-year-old, but she's trying to combat the stigma that people in universal credit do not work. That is very true because people have that tendency to believe those on benefits just don't work and they're lazy shirkers and skivers or whatever. I don't like this terminology personally. If you don't like somebody, just call them a twat. It's much easier and it makes it more sense to speak English like that. She says we made over £3,600 this month and we still receive universal credit. She revealed she's got a child, age 2, receives a standard universal credit allowance, which is £497.55 a month, I believe. Yes, it is. As well as £875 for the housing payment. She's also in receipt of the £292.81 child benefit payment, as well as £593.09 for childcare costs, because that 9p makes all the difference apparently. It brings their total entitlement to £2,258.45, so that is what they would receive if they both did not work, £2,258.45. Now, in some parts of the country, that's probably quite manageable per month for people to live. Personally, I've gotten by on less than that. It can be done, but if she lives in the south, I completely understand there is that north and south gap divide. So she goes on to say, because of the wages that she gets though from the NHS, she has £1,800 deducted from their allowance. She added they also overpaid us a little while ago, standard DWP, so we're still paying that back, so it gets deducted as well. Our total deductions this month are £1,894.64. So that's money that she doesn't receive, okay? That gets smashed out of the universal credit payment straight away. So it means that she'll be receiving for that month £363.81. Now, people may think that's too much, but at the end of the day, as one social media user replied to Ellie and said, this is why I always tell people to check and claim, because people don't realise that they may be entitled to it even if you work. Without checking online, how do you not know? Ellie wrote back and expressed that, and wait for this, it's the truth, I promise, £7.5 billion of universal credit is unclaimed every year. 7.5 billion. I mean, I don't need to say that any more clearly, but that is a drop in the ocean, and it is absolutely crazy. So, as Ellie turned around and said, if people are quick to judge and they want to hate her over the £360 a month, then go ahead, because there is a lot more, in the background. Another person then asked her, basically saying, it's a genuine question, could you survive without the UC support? Ellie replied, probably not, to be honest, because the house bills are nearly £3,000 alone, including childcare, because as we know, childcare in the UK is very, very expensive. So that, and I'll link this down below for you all, both a TikTok, and also the link to the article online. But my question would be, and we are seeing this day in, day out, where a lot of people go onto these social media channels like ours and Ellie's and give a torrent of abuse and hate. Now, traditionally, it's people that had never visited the channel before, which is what we found quite regularly, and those that are not even on benefits. So why are you on this sort of content then? Why are you watching these channels if you are not really interested in the subject? That would indicate to me that these people have got a hidden agenda, which is to create distrust, disdain, and just generally be an absolute prick, which would lead me to believe, are they paid for this? Are there people out there that are openly paid to wind up and troll people online? I think yes, there is. Personally, we've seen a more aggressive stance just recently from people that don't agree with people, and they throw their dummy out of the pram. I also want to just quickly say that we've seen it unfortunately happen in America, and people might say to me this is no difference to this channel, but it is, okay? Charlie Kirk, as we all know, was assassinated. Very, very far right-wing prominent guy, and he spoke the truth. Some would say it was his truth, and unfortunately he lost his life for it. This is one of the things that people need to understand. When we're at that stage in our lives where we go and take another life of somebody because we don't agree with them, that's too far. That is way too far, and it shouldn't be happening in any society. So rest in peace to him, and obviously, condolences to his family and stuff. But moving on real quickly with this, guys, I do believe, again, that these people are here to simply cause and effect, and they've had it drilled into their minds so much. But I also think it's the DWP. I often believe a lot of people in the channel who watch the comments and reading the comments are basically angry that people are calling them out. But you deserve to be called out. If you are doing something wrong and doing something illegal, which a lot of the time it is, you deserve to be named and shamed. Simple as that. And we'll continue doing so, as will other channels on social media. And like I've said, please do stay tuned for tomorrow's video, where I will go through some of the comments from the previous video, which there's about 25. There's quite a lot. It might be a long video. I really do apologise. But yeah, it's a bit of fun as well. Bit of afternoon banter on a Sunday. So please let me know down below what your thoughts are. I would love to hear it. Do you think I'm correct in my statement? Am I wrong? You've got your opinions. I've got mine. You're entitled to one. If I disagree, I just tend to ignore you. I won't kick off, because what is the point? Anyway, much in love, guys. Take it easy. Have a great weekend, what's left of it. And I'll see you very, very soon. Bye-bye for now.